Hey guys, it's Andrew, and I'm here to talk to you today about the legal mindset on 4 real factors you should consider if you're thinking about a law school. Now, there are a lot of sites, of videos, of information, articles out there on what you should think about when you're choosing a law school. There's also many different ranking agencies and services that'll tell you that one thing is important or another thing is important, or will give you a specific list numbered, possibly 1 to 400, on which law schools are the best. But what I'm gonna tell you today is beyond that lip service. It's beyond that simple ranking. What I'm gonna give you is the real things that you need to look at in order to have the best outcome when you're coming out of law school. Now, I'm assuming you want to be a lawyer, you want to be successful, and you want to get the best job possible in your particular field. I'm assuming that mediocre is not enough for you. Now, if that's you, stick around because we're going to talk about these factors right now. So let's talk about factor number 4. And that is geography. Location, location, location. Just like with real estate, location of the law school is key. Now, that's not just because people in that area are going to be familiar with the school, but it's because the network surrounding that school is going to be in that area. They're going to be able to support you. They're going to be able to help you when you come out and get a job. And most importantly, because in most cases, bar licensure is very limited. Many states do not recognize the jurisdiction of a bar admission in other states. For example, my home state of Florida. You have to pass the Florida bar in order to practice law within Florida. Therefore, having a degree from a Florida law school would benefit you because you're having the chance to network within Florida, to study up on Florida law in preparation for taking that Florida bar exam, and really focus on the state that matters. The same would apply for California, New York, or any other number of states with very specific bar exams. Because as always, laws differ wildly from state to state. Now, another thing about geography is when you go to apply for a job, they're gonna look at where you went to law school. And if you went to law school, for example, in New York and you're applying for jobs in California, the first question you're gonna have to answer is, why'd you go to school in New York? You can just defeat that question altogether by going to a school in the state in which you intend to practice. So you should always think about that if you intend to focus on having the best possible career within the legal field. Now, the third factor is cost. Now, many of you know about private versus public, but we're gonna cover it anyways, just in case some of you missed it. There is a gross difference between a private law school and a public law school. A public law school is often subsidized by the state government. That is, their tuition for in-state students is often greatly reduced as compared to a private school tuition. That might be something in the ballpark of an in-state school for law school charging, let's say, $20,000 versus $40,000 for a private law school per year. Now, that does not include living expenses or anything else. We'll get to that. But you have to understand that this accumulates over years. If you're talking about $40,000 in tuition alone, you're talking about $120,000 at 8% interest under the standard expected interest rates for federal student loans versus potentially 60 in tuition if you went to a public school. That's really big, especially considering that the average salary for attorneys is only around $69,000, considering all different types of attorneys and all different types of practices of law. Now, another thing you're going to want to think about for cost is back to point number 4, location. If you're trying to go to law school in San Francisco or New York City or any other high cost area, that is going to set you back in terms of your room, your board, your utilities, your general cost of living. Heck, that beer you're definitely going to want to need after your 1L exams. That's going to set you back. And you've got to really do the math when you're looking at cost of living because that can often exceed expenses for tuition if you're living in an extremely high-cost city like New York. And you really have to think, how long is it gonna take to pay that back? Is that location worth it? What if I went to a small town which has a reputable school? For example, a college town that has affordable living, affordable drinks, and affordable food. That might be something that works out better in the long run. And there are plenty of affordable schools in affordable locations which deliver the same quality when you come out of those schools. Point number 2, network. Network, network, network. I can't say that enough. Now, network is not just the people that have graduated from that school. It certainly is that, but it's also the culture and the fit of that school. When you go to Admitted Students Day, when you're looking left, you're looking right, and you're seeing the people that are sitting next to you, do you fit in with them? Are those people that you're willing to work with for the next 10, 20, 30 years? Now, if not, you may want to consider moving to a different school. There may be a lot of lawyers out there, and you've probably heard the saying, there's way too many lawyers. But there are never enough good lawyers. And the tendency is that good lawyers know each other. We have that network where we talk to each other, we share expertise, we share information, and we work together as a team. Now, you really want to make sure that these people are people you can trust because you'll end up working with them on several projects in the future. You'll rely on them for their particular area of expertise. And the last point, point number 1, which also is very important to have a network, is for your job prospects. When you're looking at a school, the number 1 thing you're going to want to look at is, can I get the job I want? You should be thinking from the beginning, where is my intended endpoint? Do I want to go to a big firm? Do I want to go to a medium firm? Do I want to be a public defender? Do I want to be a judge? Do I want to be a professor? Do people from your school do that? Does your school create a lot of judges? Well, then those will be within your network. You'll be able to reference with them, talk to them. You have an in. You went to the same school. You'll be able to share that as an initial topic to break the ice and break into that conversation. Now, it's important to look in the specific area, in the specific field that you want to practice in. I can't stress that enough. Because it's not just enough to look at the statistic that says 70% of people get jobs. Okay, well, a lot of times when they quote that statistic, they're not talking about legal jobs. They're including non-legal jobs, including research positions that the universities may give the students that are choosing not to take the bar. Therefore, it's very important to look at the specific job you want and make sure that there are people from your school that are in those positions. And then go back, leverage that network. Make sure that you put yourself in a location that you're able to work a 1L year or 2L year summer in the specific job that you want and make those touch points with the folks that can help you out. If you like this video, if you want more information on how to excel at law school, please like, comment, and subscribe. I would love to give you guys more information if you're interested in law school. But until next time, this episode is adjourned.